launching of Fela Anikulapo Kuti's new release titled Confusion Break Ball. Confusion go break bone for this one, oh. Nyetunkong. African shrine for Purple Street 19 happened for Sunday, will be 30th for September 1990. The only recognized shrine in the whole of Africa.
As you have just been told, we are gathered here today to launch another of Fela's records. The title of this one is Confusion Break Bone, 3DB. If we bear in mind that tomorrow Nigeria will be 30 years old, and when I try to ask members of the Kalakuta management why they have chosen today to launch this attack on a 30-year-old country, I was reliably informed, and I verily believe that the country has witnessed a lot of confusion, and therefore to hear from Fela once again, it's well deserved. So without wasting your time, I just want to welcome our guests. Looking around, I have seen faces from all over the place. Some from as far as Benin, Ife, and Lagos there, of course. And I have been instructed or mandated to recognize representatives of organizations and individuals who have made it a point of duty to be here today. As I said earlier, the program has started in earnest. We have listened to two beautiful songs from the Egypt Band organization. So without wasting any further time, we are going to start the program. And the program proper now, I'm moving to item 3. We find items 1 and 2, particularly the opening performance. I can assure you we are going to have more of the performance later in the day by the Egypt Band, and Fela himself, as usual, will stroll in as soon as possible. And I can assure you today, we are not following one Baba and time, the usual time, what we call Kalakuta time. Yeah. We are following the program strictly. And if you look at the time, it's about 4:30 now. And we are starting the launching now. Efforts are on to get the records around so that you can see the album. I have been told and I've been assured that nobody can stop this launch today. Because you know we're in a country where they stop conferences, not that gathering. But Fela has assured us that in this shrine, no Babangida can come here to stop any And if you also look around, you will agree with me that except they are secret agents, they cannot show their faces here. Last year we had the Minister of Information, the former one, the letter writer, Mr. Tony Momo. And you know, he made the mistake of trying to write a letter on that day. He came here to preach that Nigerians should be paying tax. And Fela told him that day that, well, if our resources are well managed, perhaps we don't need to be so taxed as the government does now. You are well aware of the fact that this particular launching is coming on the eve of Nigerians' independence. And if you look at the papers today, particularly for the elderly ones amongst us, those who were around, not some of the faces I see around, those who were around and matured in 1960, you will agree with me that Nigeria has nothing to show for it. And I was told by somebody yesterday, an elderly fellow, that he wished that the British could come back and recolonize us. It was a tragedy. I mean, that statement is very tragic. But that shows the frustration and the disenchantment of our people. But it's not enough to say no way. We must stand up and ensure that we fight for a new Nigeria so that we can tell the military that we want to develop at our own pace. Because if care is not taken, they will turn Nigeria into another Liberia. But when you have our own those here, who may want to tell us soon that they are not likely to leave, because now they are converting themselves to vice presidents and the rest of them. So soon, you may also have the president retiring to become a civilian president, in accordance, according to them, with their own constitution. But someone was just telling me when we were starting the program that Nigerian people are saying therefore to the program. They are saying no to the program, that is therefore. And coincidentally, Dr. Fela and some Kuti has filed an action during the week to challenge some of these illegal actions. The slip of the album particularly will be very interesting to you. And what Fela is saying specifically in this confusion framework is that the Buhari Babangida regime arrested Shagari about 5-6 years ago and detained him among all the presidents that are ruling Nigeria and that are ruling Nigeria. And therefore asked, why have you taken only Shagari out of the other presidents? Of course, including the present one, IDB himself. So, Fela is going to play the record live. But as I said, we're starting the launching record. Everybody here, I'm told, is a chief launcher for this record. But I have been asked to ask Mr. Alawa Abasham, who will be leaving us very soon, to start the ceremony before going. And I just want to announce that the record LP is being sold for 30 naira. But if you also want to buy in dollars or pounds sterling, somebody did that here last year, you are welcome. More so that they have destroyed the naira. Your foreign currencies are allowed. Thank you.
I was thinking that going to be fairer in not asking Mr. Falano to be the master of ceremony, because we do practice in the chambers. But today being the anniversary of our 30-year-old sovereignty, launching the CBD to me is very significant. I remember some few weeks ago when the proposed conference was aborted, many friends and relatives phoned me personally and said there is nothing to fight for in Nigeria. Leave them alone. They need another 1,000 years before they can wake up. And the simple answer I gave to all these people: what about you? Aren't you a Nigerian yourself? Are you out of this country? Of course, they had no answer to that. The problem we are facing in our country is that all of us want to care for ourselves individually. As lawyers, as doctors, as artists, as musicians, to us, if you can make do by it, goodbye to the others. But at the end of the day, as I've reminded some of my colleagues on the bench, when you deprive the Nigerian of his right to assemble, his right to speak, his right to criticize, they've lost one important thing. The judge himself has lost the right to speak, he's lost the right to participate, he's lost the right to assemble. Because being a Nigerian too, he has forgotten that whatever judgment he gives, all he has held to his own benefit. Fela, for years, had used his music not to accumulate wealth for himself or his family, not to praise anybody. anybody. It doesn't get money. But to contribute to social development of this country, that is where Fela is completely different from the artists, not only in this country, in most of Africa. And that is why, to people like us, Fela is a comrade in a struggle to make this country a different place when we do leave. I used to tell friends of mine, I'll soon become 60, maybe another 10, 15 years I'll be out of this country. It is the future of yours, the younger ones, that's at stake. We've lost 30 years of our lives. Some of you are only 15, 20, 30. You have more lives to live. You have to participate. You cannot afford to sit down and say, oh yes, one day we'll pray to God. It will help this country. In fact, to me, when you see churches sprouting up like you do in Nigeria, mosques sprouting up, and all the aladuras, it shows the decadence of society. Because it seems we have all lost confidence in our society. And what do? We have to go back and look for solace in something we don't see, that is God Almighty. It happened in Europe. Anybody who has traveled will find in almost every street in Europe there are 10, 20 churches on the same road. Go to America. That was the time of decadence. But today people don't go to them again. They've lost interest. It's not relevant to their lives again. We are passing this phase. We prefer to go to Fela. We prefer to go to mosque. We prefer to go to Babalawo to find solutions to our problem. When the solution is in our hands, for us to join together, struggle together to create a better future for our country. I normally don't like the idea of launching, but let me, on behalf of my chambers and my own self, subscribe to 10 of these albums for a poetry sum of 1,000 naira. Thank you so much.
Well, lest I be accused of bias, I would not want to thank Mr. Akabasho, but I want to thank the chief launcher for the beautiful speech he's given us. One part of the speech reminds me of the Morocco incident. We did some studies of Morocco in 1981, and we did discover on that occasion that Morocco had the largest number of churches and mosques in Nigeria. But by 1990, when Morocco was going to be demolished, the number had increased tremendously. And when the people of Morocco first heard the announcement that their houses were likely to be demolished, there were many of them who took it for a joke and ran to the churches and mosques to pray. Some of us who believe that we had to struggle, try to make contacts with them, that it doesn't appear God will come down on his own to solve anybody's problem. So we had to struggle. But at the end of the day, the caterpillars, the bulldozers, they didn't even spare the churches and the mosques. And when you leave Morocco, you examine the whole of Victoria Island and Ikoyi, you find only one small church at Falomo, one Catholic church at Falomo. And that is Nigeria for you. The other churches you find on VI, again, have been uprooted. And that is why some of the Aladura people on their own now go to the Bar Beach to set up some temporary structures. But for some time now, the ocean has refused to allow this kind of thing. So, and that shows you that we really need to struggle, for our rights. And as I have said earlier, the country is facing a lot of crises. Those who were around in 1960, who were very mature, who now compare Nigeria, with the country of 1960, will tell you without mincing words that this country is worse for it. It is only a few of our leaders, like Babangida, who can tell you things are not so bad yet. They agree it is bad. Babangida said yesterday, things are not so bad. Even for the president to appreciate that things are bad, that in itself confirms that even for the ruling class, they have admitted that they have mismanaged the country. But we cannot continue to allow the fate of this country to be manipulated by them. And if you look at the recent controversy, imagine the recent controversy going on, and that's about the election coming up in December, the local government election. Babangida now has borrowed an idea from one of these dictators in Africa, and that is the fellow in Kenya, Daniel Moy. In Kenya, if you want to vote, you have to queue behind the candidate. For them in December now, for the local government election, you are going to queue up behind the contestant. And when you ask them, in a town, in a local government where you have about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 towns and villages, how do people queue up behind the chairman at the same time? Because the election shall be held at the same time in one day throughout the country. So you have the local government chairman standing in Ikoyi, people queue behind him. People have to vote for him in Ekwe and some other parts of the state, So you can see the foolishness, that is associated with the whole program. But what is still more disturbing is that their own law, the local government election decree, section 48 of Schedule 2, stipulates that election shall be held, this particular election shall be by secret ballot. Or government as usual, forgotten its own law, or they are manipulating the law to suit the purpose of rigging. You can understand what they are trying to do. Because when the man is standing there, people are keying up everywhere. It cannot be represented all over the place. So they will give you many results. And that is the beginning of rigging. And so you will discover that we will be worse than we were in 1983. So I think the challenge being thrown to us is that the fate of this country, the future of this country, the destiny of this country is in our hands. If we like, we can allow the military leaders to continue to manipulate us, but I think we are all resolved now to terminate this kind of mess. And that is the essence of the record when the record is taken out into speak. Now, Fela has asked a question. And the question is, which way Nigeria? And inside the question, Fela has photographed about 8 of our past leaders, including Babangida, and taken out Shagari alone, who was detained briefly. And Fela is asking them, what about the other presidents? And when you also look at what is going on around us, governors, judges and the rest of them stealing at a disturbing level, you discover that what Fela was saying about authority stealing 12 years ago is much more true now, and much more true than it was a few years ago. And that was what Anikulapo was saying a few months back, when 2 of their governments were accused of stealing. And Anikulapo said, you cannot accuse them of stealing. You can only accuse them of misappropriation. They have not stolen money, they have only misappropriated our money. And Fela has since 1978 in his record authority stealing. Even in trying to allude to this kind of thing, that they call it mismanagement, nepotism, authority stealing, and the rest of them. But when you look at the totality of this looting, you all agree with me that it's a case of authority stealing. So you are going to have Confucian Brave Bowl played for us live today by Fela. So without, and the rest of them. So what I want to call on Madam Olutayo Commercial Service. She's a major distributor of records to launch the record.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm very happy to be here this afternoon.
Thank you.
I've been calling here every time, but I refused to come here because I was in fear that maybe because what I heard about the shrine, I can't just go. It was somebody who gave me a strong mind that nothing bad to happen to me. So, and that's how I'm here. I'm a good customer of Fela since more than 35 years ago. Fela have recorded to our label, to Fabro Nigeria Limited, sometimes. The double album Rokoroko was recorded in our own label, to Fabro. And the second one, Aladdin Close, was recorded in our label too. And I'm very happy this afternoon to come here and launch this record again. I pray Nigeria will listen to all this preaching that Fela is preaching every time and think well what to do about it. I will launch this one with 250 naira.
We thank Madam Olutayo very sincerely. But from what she must have seen since she came here this afternoon, I can assure her that there is no cause for alarm. And as a living witness to our affairs, I saw that when Madam came here this afternoon, she was very worried the way she was walking. And I was wondering whether whether she was looking for somebody. But we led her to her seat, and she was taking a good look of the whole place, perhaps to reassure herself that she's very safe. But I can assure Madam that there is no problem here. It's only the enemies of our people that are afraid of coming here. And we can always welcome her here. Thank you very much, Madam. Well, I want to call on Mr. Joseph Phillips to launch the record.
I have been a fan of Fela's practically all my life. He used to play in my old school, St. Gregory's College, in the 60s, and I used to listen to his music, and I've followed him ever since. I am pleased to be here. I'm honored, in fact, to be here amongst all of you, although I don't think I deserve to be here to launch this record. I'll launch this record with 666 naira.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. I call on Mr. Abiola Phillips.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I, like my friend, am also very happy to be here, very honored. I also have been listening to Fela's music for many years and found it inspirational. In a society like Nigeria, where people appear to thrive and strive for mediocrity, it's very heartening to find a musician who has been able to move across from a purely musical significance to a sociological one. Many do believe and do say that Fela, many talk of danger, many talks of threat. I myself think that with reference to Fela, the only danger or threat is the danger and threat of enlightenment. He continues to alert our minds to the need to guard jealously and closely those rights which are innate and inherent. It is natural to have leaders all through the ages. I don't think this regime is singular in that. I think all through. It's natural to have leaders who do not wish to be encumbered with their nemesis, a continuous reminder of why they are leaders. And Fela appears to me to play this kind of role. I don't quite know how. I hope there are cassette tapes available. Cassette? Yeah. I would like to purchase a cassette tape for a sum of 333 naira. And I'd like to purchase a personally autographed copy of the LP for 666 naira. I believe that there must be scribblers among us, members of the press, and I'd like to take this opportunity to pass a comment with respect to the depth of analysis which the press in this country has accorded Fela. I think they have sold him short, and they've sold themselves far shorter. Analysis is always superficial. People are more, there's a lot more noise about ephemeral things. The chap's got a rash. Will he smoke when his brother is the minister in public? All these things are unimportant. I'll take out the point of smoking. I heard in passing that Fela, when asked about his intentions with respect to a non-smoking decree in public, said, "What about the cars that smoke?" Now, I think that this is, I think like many other things Fela says, this is a significant point which is overlooked. If the intention of prohibiting public smoking is to minimize the adverse effects on non-smokers, passive, then, you know, all of us that walk around in this country with the pollution from vehicles, industrial pollution, are being punitively dealt with on the issue of passive smoking. I mean, passive. Well, you understand what I'm saying? I commend the album to all thinking people. Thank you very much.
The government, a government that is banning smoking, but is not prepared to ban poverty or hunger in the society. But that is Fela for us. We want to call another person who has been around here since the 60s. I don't know whether this is deliberate, but the list I've given. The next person on my list is somebody who has also been associated with Fela since the 60s. I call him Professor Issei Sage. So now
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being present with all of us today on this occasion. I do not have much to add to what the other speakers have said, Fela is an institution in this country. It's a proper institution. The wrong recognition was given to someone else some years ago. But Fela is a real institution in this country. I remember recently a pressman was questioning Fela about this record, saying, why do you now record something you composed so many years ago? Are you running away from commenting on current problems, particularly on the Babangida regime? And Fela said, what I said years ago are even more relevant today than when I first said them. And not only is that true, but it also brings out another point, and that is that we put a lot of load on the few people who dare to carry the burden of this country. That journalist was asking Fela, why don't you make a record attacking this regime specifically? And what I would like to ask the journalist is, what has he done himself for this country? Why is it only Fela and Fela and Fela alone? This is the problem. We have only a few people carry Nigeria's burden. By the time you call Gani, Fela, Babashuru, by the time you call 10, 15 people, it's all over. And we want them to continue to carry it alone. That burden is too heavy for a few people. So the more we are, the better we should support them. Instead of expecting them alone and smoking cars. They will tell you, I'm not happy that my buses, my cars are smoking, but I cannot afford spare parts. I cannot afford a new car. How many of us can buy new cars now? It's impossible. And there is no mass transit in this country. All the money budgeted for it has been, you know, the usual thing, has gone to pockets. There's no mass transit. You can't buy new cars, you can't buy spare parts. So, in fact, we should be grateful to the people still putting these smoky buses on the road. And if we now go further, whose fault is it that we have smoky buses, smoky cars, which are worse than smoking people? The government that introduced the stuff itself. That is the logic. That's what the logic is. So we're not the solution to our problem. That is why we have to support it. Trying all the lives, struggling. I see a member of the Afrikan collective there. These are the people we should support to save this country, so that there will be no more smoking buses, no more pollution, no more poverty, and no more oppression. So in this spirit, I would, as a token of my admiration for Fela, the struggle that he has carried on our behalf in this country, like to buy one of these records and 3 cassettes for 250 naira. Ladies and gentlemen, if you read the papers last week, a Nigerian wrote a book this program that Fela will not be late today, and I think you will agree with me, it's not later. Ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, a Nigerian wrote a book which was launched last week, and this book is, the book is particularly devoted to the consistency of the Supreme Court in the last 10 years or so. And when I went through the book, one area that the author
where they also had to attack the Supreme Court was this case of ransom Kuti versus the Attorney General. The author was not particularly happy with the fact that the Supreme Court bent over and in fact was not its usual self in deciding that case on the principle that the king can do no wrong. That the usual Supreme Court in the last 10 years has always tried to throw technicalities aside and do substantial justice to any case that came before them. The author of that beautiful book, A Legacy for Posterity, is no less a person than Professor Ishefagi. Now I want to call on the Orunmila Young Stars International to launch this record. Orunmila Young Stars International. The representative of Orunmila Young Stars International.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fela Anikulapo Kuti is our father. And we have known him for a long time. He has been actively involved in all our activities. He has taught us how to believe so much in ourselves. If we talk of colonial mentality without talking of how we have been colonized in our religion, we are just wasting our time. Fela told us how to believe very much in our religion, and we did. But we only come here today to subscribe to this plate because we have a grand program for him, which he is aware about, in Benin in November 3, which we will tell the world so many things about Fela. In that wise, we are subscribing to this plate with 100 naira. Thank you very much.
I call on Chief Adewolu to launch the record.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure this lawyer man wants to cause trouble. For two reasons, I dare not launch a record here publicly. Because Fela and I, we've been coming together since 1951. I happen to be one of those people when Fela was trying to learn how to drive and he was driving his father's car, AB 240. And I hope Fela is listening. The car is Hillman Mills, therefore can testify to this. The car is supposed to carry 4 passengers, 2 at the back, 2 in front, including the driver. But Fela in his usual way, we're our classmates, we're our friends, he will carry 16 or 24. And the car, when the principal drives the car, the principal gives us an hour from Kuti, he drives with one hand on the steering. The other hand, he will put up like that, sharing crowd when they say down, down, down. But when Fela gets into the car, he hardly has a hand on the steering. Because some of us will be sitting here, some of them, people do not know, because as long as they see the car, AB240, they believe Reverend Ira Kuti is the one driving. But of course, they shout, down, down, and Fela in his usual way will give his hand, and hardly people recognize it's not down. Coming here this afternoon is to support Fela because I believe in what he has been preaching from childhood. Because Fela is a man of the world. And money is not the way I should. If Fela wants to launch the book and he wants money, you know he has about 4 classmates who are millionaires. He would have called
but I'm sure if you invite them, they will not come here, because they know if they come here, Fela will yab them. But I will here support Fela's record, and I will get just 2% and the record with the same amount that the Onomila boys have put down. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I think we have also enjoyed that story. I think Fela will confirm that story later or subtract from it. But I just want...
And we have seen a number of people launch the album. People have launched different amounts. We are not going to launch this album with money. We are going to launch it rather with ideas. But we think that one of the best things that can happen is for us to exchange ideas with members of the Egypt 80 band. And that is why, instead of giving money, we are launching this album with 50 copies of the newsletter titled Solidarity, which is the news organ of our own organization. And most importantly, I wish to here and now commend the record of our comrades from the Obafemi University. The last time we gathered here, sometimes in July this year, we had a show here in solidarity with two of them who were then detained illegally by the Babangida regime. And I'm talking of Professor Toyo Olorode, who is in our midst. You are welcome. We also welcome Dr. Idowu Awopetu, also the next detainee. Also from Ife, Dr. Idiji Dara. We also recognize Dr. Dipo Mashina. And that will convince each and every one of us that the struggle being waged by the Nigerian people cuts across university community, students, populace, progressive lawyers, politicians, and the rest of them. So I think the point is being taken that we have a united battle to fight, and we all have to struggle together, like Professor Sage reminded us earlier. Now, I would like to call on Mr. Elo Scott on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. to launch this record. Mr. Elo Scott.
I did not realize that I'd be making any speech at all until I got here. I just come in as a simple person, but since I've been saddled with this speech, I think I should pass a few comments. I do really appreciate, like everybody else, what Fela has been doing over the period of years. I see he's getting tired now, but we can see by this new record, he's right on top of the low wall. I wish him more grease to his elbow, and like somebody said, he needs people like us, for all of us to rally around and give him a good support. We can't just allow few Nigerians to carry everybody's load. We should all support in our own little way. Come to the shrine, dance to the shrine, buy records, give him all the necessary support. My humble self, I'm just going to pay 200 naira for this record. Thank you.
Fela has asked me to assure Mr. Elo Scott that he's not tired at all. Fela said, GSS, don't say so. Now, on behalf of the Ife Collective, I call on Professor Toyo Olorode to launch this record.
I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the Ife Collective on behalf of the Nigerian intellectuals who want to participate with our people in changing our society, to formally thank the Kalakuta Limited and all the Nigerian people for the great support and inspiration they gave us while we were in detention. It was such a great inspiration, because each time the Nigerian people sneeze, they start shaking on our lower road. I also want to say this, that I want to use this opportunity to ask all the Nigerian people to insist that we have a right to express our minds on all issues, and decree or no decree, nobody is going to remove that right from us. I also want to insist that we insist on our right of association at all times, political party or no political party, and that in the final analysis, the duty of our people is certain. And on this note, I'd like to, on behalf of the Ife Collective, launch this great work of art for 100 naira.
Thank you very much. We take around the record, and as the donations flow in, we will announce. But for now, we want to, before we call on Fela to mount the stage, there is a record that we have chosen particularly for this occasion, and that is Fela's Sorrows, Tears and Blood. You will agree with me that in this particular record, Fela challenged us in 1976 that my people, that is the Nigerian people, we fear too much. We fear the air around us, we fear the thing we don't even see at all. We always get reasons to fear. We don't want to die, I just marry, I want to enjoy myself and the rest of them. And a boy of 7 years who has also joined us in the struggle is going to render this beautiful tune, and that is Anikulapo Kuti.
Thank you, beautiful people. That was an STP. And the young, talented, gentlewoman, great singer, Anikulapo Kuti. So at this point in time, we like to bring on stage a man whose music is fully laden with food. I mean, food for thought. If only you can listen to him. If only you can listen, reason with his songs. If only you can act, so that all of us can have the best of things in our time, so that our children can have the best of their time. So on behalf of the Organization of African 70, the Young African Pioneers, the MAFS, and the movement against second slavery, in conjunction with the fantastic EDJT, I have pleasure yes indeed. Yes indeed. And it would make me the talk because before they would label us, call us original names. But today now, we are very happy. I particularly am very happy that people can now reason. People now can see, and people can openly associate with what is good for all of us. I have the pleasure of presenting to you Fela Anikulapo Kuti.
Heavy thinking, intelligent people here. Tonight, Professor Samuel is today, lecturer from University of Nigeria here today. So because we are here, let us go over something more and think about it when we go home, discuss it so that we can change our society, When government make laws, you see, I think it is wrong to make law against something which somebody put for your mouth. Okay, now let me explain to you now. Now they make law. Say make nobody smoke cocaine or heroin. There is a law against cocaine and heroin. Now, brothers and listen, as we talk now, so people they smoke and go for their houses, for barracks, police barracks, army barracks, private houses, joints, people streets, everywhere. What can they do about people who are smoking it now? Because they are putting it in their mouths. So no law can stop anybody from putting the thing where he wants into his mouth.
if they make law like that, that means either the government people, they are dubious or they are senseless. Cannot be that way. It is either if the law government say it is against law to make heroin, to smoke heroin, they will smoke it, you get 20 years jail. If they make that kind of law, they are either dubious or senseless. Because they cannot keep the law. People must just smoke it. And they know that. So we must say that they are dubious. Because see, it is when they make it like that that it becomes expensive. It is business. So government is doing business with heroin and cocaine. And people don't know, don't laugh. It's important for you to know. All over the world, it's not that governments are involved in this drug to keep the economy going. It's a report in a book I gave one friend of mine, big book like I brought money in Europe. Drugs make a turnover of $300 million every half a day. So, for Banco, for Cisalando, $300 million they pass every half a minute for drugs. They take the money now. Let me throw back the money they go. Oh, then they want people for purpose. Oh yeah, you know, I do what they want to do for purpose. They don't bring them come inside you. They go book about their barracks, so I will not read. What about smoke things? You know, police, they're not the police now. They don't take money on this, they'll come with they'll carry rice. Police not the arrest people like this and rice. I know there are many journalists here. I thought this one, you know, make me write about it, think about it. You know, me, I don't want to tell anybody. Think about it and see sensibility of all the kind of laws, you know. So make them not confuse us and carry people's mind away, but make them concentrate on people with the teeth. And at them, the teeth. The teeth problem. Okay, brothers and sisters, now before I continue on say anything further, I would like to thank all of you for coming, and I would like also to recognize and acknowledge my shrine. Praise of all of you before I do anything else. Let's excuse them. In 1981, June 25, I had a trance in my house. I was possessed by my spirit. Since that time, 1981 to 25, up to now, I have experienced a lot of material things, experiences, and I've also experienced a lot of spiritual experiences. Now, only 5 days ago, I was in my house, 6 days ago, and I felt for the first time that our ancestors, they are down to help Africans now. The spirits are down. Some people I know, few people don't believe in this thing, but many people believe especially in Africa. Even white people now, they are learning to believe. Serving God of our ancestors, we should see the God of patience, in fact, the God of divinity, Yemoja, the goddess of the sea, Ogun, the God of iron and the earth, Shogo, the God of lightning and thunder, Oshun, the goddess of the river, and Ishu, the God of trees. I am calling on these ancestors now today. They are here. Also to inform you that when you come to shrine, please, it is not a religious gathering. It's a place to pass ideas. So one of the ideas I'd like to pass to you is that anytime you have time, you go to your village or to your homes, please consult your shrine. Our spirits are down now to help us. So don't forget. Leave the Hausa and those people alone. Let them rest. Please, let them rest. You know, they have done their bit. It's not for you to do yourself, your family home. Don't let anybody see you. I'm also going to polarization for my mother. Let mother start a shrine. We'll pour also for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the Sunday folk. I'm also going to pour for the man who opened my eyes to the spiritual world, Hindu. We call him Professor Hindu. The man is very powerful. Brothers and sisters, all of us are here tonight for our future. For us not to be confused any further. For those who are here today, today is 30, September 30. That is 3, the son of the pyramids. So I advise you to use it sensibly. So for all of us who are here tonight, and for the gods, our ancestors, for the salvation, for the future of goodness. Thank you.
Yesterday, every Saturday night, I was somebody to me up to my shrine. The Saturday night is very nice at the shrine, you know. So I was saying yesterday, I was telling people, I said, see, let's think about it. Friends will not ask me, but I'm going to think of this, but okay. Hear this one now. Thalidomide tablet in 1958-61 in London, England, killed hundreds of children, destroyed children. Thalidomide tablet is called. When pregnant women took it, it became hundreds of children. London. After that, many things have been coming out destroying people's lives in Europe, but we don't hear many things about it. This year, Nigerian government announced through my own brother paracetamol. Somebody did paracetamol. I think paralyzed him too. Ain't just to keep people going, Now, you see, okay, we love the book. It's nice. It's good. You see, because it doesn't happen. How can people like me, I've spent my life saying the truth, how can my talk become truth today? If that thing don't happen. See, now, my own point is say, yeah, I don't say, make white man, medicine, not kill people live in life, no. Can do it in life, not just a drinker. Not your government saying I be correct doctor. Okay, now, fair enough. But if one herbalist, she go give somebody wrong medicine and if let's go now, police will catch her. And that's the point I want to drive my friends people who here with you. And you see, paracetamol, you get right to kill 500. Make nobody talk. Because the white man maker, Indian law to kill. When doctor says drink and you die, finish the die. For herbalists though, now they die too many places for herbalists like that though. Every day they die for people. Now for people they get license to take knife and cut you to pieces. Because you see, when doctor want to cut your neck, they call it surgery. They want to take your neck and cut it. Then when they cut that, before you cut that, the family will sign say, I still won't cut this soul, when if you die, it's okay. Deceiving with style, you know. Then when they caught you and you die, I'm sorry, you know. So finish, no, sorry. Because doctor knows he can cut you and you can die. If doctor knows the doctor, he's supposed to guarantee. If doctor cannot guarantee, then they get no right to go into the villages to arrest our herbalists when they try to kill people when they get people they die for their hands. But if herbalists go make mistake now, and the police do not do that, police push through. Hey, see? So I beg, you know, let us start to use ourselves to direct our society. But you want to come on stage and so I mean, yeah, I don't talk this one, think about it, you know. One woman from one of my women, he said one day from my room, said, Fela, I heard you hear about you before, you know. Me and the things that you illiterate, you know. The same things that be illiterate.
when you hear about me when you was school. Then one day, when I come up from prison, say, Dad, I can't hear you. You get first conference. My brother house, Pantoni, because they speak English. They speak English, no, they don't understand their man. Say, the family, man, no, you can talk English, you see, when I was illiterate, he understood me. When I don't read books, he don't understand me. You see our society now? That's our society. One man they talk, he say, Nigeria will progress in 230 years because we have plenty of university and we have plenty of school. I say, yeah. So, why not talk say university don't become problem now? It's good, don't become problem. Because university back not get work. So what the university lack will lack. Look, the English that we speak in Nigeria now, it can form the whole of London, make them not see anything there. Every year, English is getting worse in Nigerian schools. Teacher not even know how to speak English again. And the teacher will not know how to speak English. Now you can't take the Omalewi to speak English. You see our country. I think that will say, those people that are having to speak now. You only have to speak English. Continue. You see, the first time you say, they send me another attack Babangida government because my brother said those people that bring me back and they talk. Me, I know they attack government and they attack bad people. So if you be bad people and you call them for government, it's a problem for now. You see, so as Babangida said there, me, I know Yapa. Who say I know Yapa? Not me, I know Yapa is just now. So all the people I talk, not the government I have. Oh, I mean, I say they get me so much, they get police shit. I bet, pull down, I bet Mr. Glasses gives your common sense. I just want you wear glasses so they tickle your eyes, you know. Then will tickle your brain too. That's not very dangerous. Afrikan. Now, you see, if you look at the album, we have just friends now. You know, they say Babangida put the name on the cover of the album. Not because I want to put Babangida picture there. You see, I don't have the music. You don't reach 7 years now. I call it God. But you see, my music, not spiritual music, not clips. So you see, if you got to wait for the owner. No, now because the defeat situation. Now, so like I tell one press man, me I like Babangida go, and when me I like him, we say in uniform is Peter. Peter, now so my record is them. When in this house, listen to the record. Because the time where I write down, they call themselves head of state, head of state, head of state, head of state. When Buhari and Jacob did that, they call themselves head of state. When Babangida did that, they say the president, so the record German for road. So I put the picture there. Yes, oh God. So, brothers and sisters, I'm not always trying to go too much. Now, may I just play, I will play for you 2 nice sounds, you know. So we'll play this CDP, where you want to release, I will play out first. Then I'll come play my second number. So for those 2 numbers where I want you to maybe we sit down to enjoy ourselves. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming to participate in the launching of my head. I tell some people, say Abiola, that the senior brother of Rajiv Zaki for money. But Rajiv Zaki is the senior brother of Abiola for mouth. Hello, I go. No, you see, Abiola and Rajiv Zaki, they are one person. So, I go advice. Vice of Abiola and Rajiv Zaki. You know, now vice they do. Vice. You know, vice, so. You know what you vice me? Bad things. When you do vice things, you didn't vice. No, you don't vice me bad. Don't be missionary. Then I go on and devise. Only. Everybody said vice now. People know that they know why I like to use the things for myself. Good morning, sir. Look, don't let come down around here. Look, sir, who want on for you? Sir, don't you? Now, look at passing on. You know, because English language, you know, we call English language guessing. That means they are guessing. See? So, don't let it look good yourself. You know, they say auntie. What about your auntie? You know, auntie, there's aunt. Aunt, they go to. Miss your style. Miss, maybe they need to go. Misses are really not the miss forever. Miss. I bet. Condition break home. Because of the heat play, we have to lose it. Somebody say mosquito divide hand there. No. Mosquitoes must bite you in Nigeria because they are from the mosque. Mosquitoes, boys. say it was the time where they were Maiduguri prison. I know say na allergies dey control mosquito. When it reach like about 4 or 5 o'clock, and I know what allergies dey for Maiduguri go here.
Don't
One more thing for you. They want my liquor song, man. So before I play that one, they want to talk small. Let me say, go drink some water.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are some 4 of our guests that have insisted on launching the record after listening to it. I want to call on Mr. Samuel Ayado, MD SOA Records Nigeria Limited, to launch the record.
On behalf of my family, myself, and my nightclub, I'm launching 3 cassettes and 3 records for 500 naira. And I'm going to launch for one of my friends. He was supposed to be here this evening, but go slow, go catch him for house. So he's not being calm. So his name is Eric Manuel. On behalf of his family, he's launching 3 cassettes and 3 records for 300 naira.
Thank you, Mr. Akirem. Now, I can see many faces around. People like Lyra Ogundani are insisting they want to launch. So John Motude and the rest of them. But now I want to call on Alaki Useki Baba Kushe. To launch the record. I like the place. We want to commend Fela for the beautiful performance of CBB. But for those who have been challenging Fela to mention Babangida's name particularly, I think in the next record that is also going to be performed live, Mass, Alaji, Kewabiola, all of them got mentioned, including Babangida himself. So we call on the chief priest, otherwise known as Abami, the spirit, to come and perform this beautiful record. That is Mass, Movement Against Sexual Slavery.
and mostly religion is one of them. See, what is happening in this country is that all the alliances, they are lying our economy away. So I beg, let us get with this spiritual stuff there. M-A-S-S. Music against second slavery.
don't change the name of your beast. Not the color of your beast again. With the color of we want to make those colors this. Push it, back. Push it, back. Push it, break. Push on. Push it, go one. Push it, shine. Push it, back. Push it, break. Push on, okay. Push it, shine.
Yeah.